Yo, check this out.
All right, welcome everybody to episode 28 of Lions, Lies, and Billy Goats. I'm Jeff. That's Paul. This is our first show since the Christmas show, right? So it's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Happy New Year, Paul.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you, my friend, and Merry Christmas and all that.
Merry Christmas. Happy January 6th anniversary. That was kind of fucking.
Oh goodness.
Shit.
You know, I was just watching a thing on the what would they call him, the QAnon shaman or whatever. I just watched an interview with him last night.
How much time did he get? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I don't think they covered it in the interview I was watching last night. They just obviously said that he was locked up for essentially nothing. I mean,
Well, a lot of them got locked up for nothing.
yeah. Well, yes, I think yeah, that's a good point. Some of them deserve to be locked up and deserve to stand trial for.
Yeah, to say that like that chaos at one of those couple of doors didn't happen, the lady got killed and there was injuries. Cool, right? That not cool, but it happened.
Right.
But you also have to realize that there's 40,000 hours of videotape of people walking around and talking to the cops and staying between the felt ropes through the Capitol building and shit. You know, just like
Yeah.
taking pictures, and there was cops opening doors, and other places there was chaos.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's pictures of like undercover cops showing their badges and getting through with their Trump gear on.
Did they admit that there were feds on the ground?
No, he admitted to at least 26 associates or informants, snitches, shit like that. It wasn't. I don't think he admitted to actual agents playing dress up. But that's their agents. At the same time, doesn't mean there wasn't any other agencies, undercover people, or DCPD. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's obviously videos of people showing their badges and getting through. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I know there were FBI affiliates on the ground, whatever they were. You know, whether they were agents or loosely connected with the FBI or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't have a good track record. They have like. What they do is almost entrapment in some cases, like the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping, the governor from Michigan. Did you hear about that a few years ago?
I loosely remember that.
All right. Well, basically, a white supremacist group or white militia or whatever, they spoiled the plan to kidnap the governor, and it was a group of people, but like. If there was 10 people, like 5 of them were agents. And they were like, the guys like were a bunch of like regular weird dudes. And they're like, we should do this. We should do that. They almost like coaxed them into doing it, you know, like, yeah, well, I'll do it together. We'll kidnap the governor. And then when they go to do it, they're like, caught you.
Gotcha. Yeah. Wait, you set us up for this. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of cases like that of them doing shit like that. But again, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that happened on January 6th that's fishy.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Ray Epps is fucking fishy.
And that dude shows up in a couple different places, Ray Epps.
Yeah, there's the videos of him like from the night before where it's like, go in the Capitol. And they're all like, no. Fed.
Yeah.
Remember that? That was like the night before.
Yeah.
And then the next day, the one that's weird is that they have like those metal gate fence things, like the bike rack looking gates, and all the patriots or whoever, the Trumpers or whoever you want to call them, are walking up towards them, and some dude walks up and Ray Epps like whispers in the guy's ear, and then the guy runs over to like 2 other guys and they start going crazy on the fence, like almost like he's like, okay, go,
like a ringleader. Yeah,
go step this up a level. You know what I mean? That's what it looks like. Who knows?
And I mean, it wouldn't be hard to cause a riot, you know, if you were basically, you know, in some sort of situation like that. You know, you only got to.
There's the video of it.
Into the Capitol!
Under public pressure, the January 6th committee finally interviewed Ray Epps. Epps told the committee that he never entered the Capitol and therefore never committed a crime. His text messages showed that at 2:12 p.m., he boasted to his nephew that he had, quote, orchestrated the protests at the Capitol. He admitted he helped get people there. Yet, curiously, congressional Democrats consider Ray Epps an ally, not an insurrectionist. Tonight, we can tell you that at the very least, Ray Epps lied in his sworn testimony to the January 6th committee. Epps testified that when he sent the text messages to his nephew, he had already left the Capitol grounds to return to his hotel room. That is not true. The surveillance footage we found shows that, in fact, Ray Epps remained at the Capitol for at least another half an hour. You're seeing that on your screen now. What was Epps doing there? We can't say, but we do know that he lied to investigators. The January 6th committee likely knew this too. Democrats had access to the same tape, yet they defended Ray Epps. No honest investigation would do that.
And then they denied that he was even involved. And they're like, Ray Epps, blah, blah, blah. And then he finally got in trouble, but it was like 6 months community service or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nothing. And I know the dude from the Proud Boys, the Spanish cat who's like the leader of the racist white people. He's Spanish.
Because that makes sense. Yeah.
He got like 22 years or some shit, and he wasn't even there.
Yeah, he's one of a few people that got arrested. He wasn't even there, and they got arrested for it. Yeah, it's I don't know. I really hope that the truth comes out to the masses soon, because it's ridiculous.
I don't know why the Proud Boys are considered racist, because I saw them a couple times and I lived down there in DC. There was black dudes in the fucking t-shirts. They have like these polos with like, it's like a black polo with like yellow stitching and like a little patch here.
Well, that's one of the legacy media's go-tos when they want you to, when there's a group that's presenting a problem that, you know, conflicts with their narrative. That's one of their go-tos. Oh, they're super racist. They're white supremacists. They hate black people. You know, whatever it is. It's always some ridiculous crap like that just to get you to dislike them, you know?
There's black dudes and Spanish dudes in it because I saw them with these two eyeballs.
Yeah, well, I mean, even when the whole Trump thing first started up, people, it's just white people. You know, they're all white people. They're all white supporter. You know, they're all the Trump supporters are white, which is
I've been down.
You know,
with
they're still saying that shit. They're still saying that shit, even though he won the Hispanic vote. You know,
Republicans were racist when they didn't vote for Obama. That's just the go-to.
Yeah, they always do that shit.
When before Candace Owens got like famous, right? There was, I can't remember if I was drinking or not, so I don't remember what year it was.
When she was on the Daily Wire or before that?
No, it was before the Wire. I still lived in DC. I went down to Freedom Fest, and it was down at Independence Square, Freedom Square, down near the White House. And who else was there? Do you ever hear that dude Milo Yiannopoulos or whatever his name is?
Sounds familiar.
He used to be, I don't really know who he is, but I know his story. He used to be an internet star early on and got canceled by a bunch of people for saying a bunch of shit. So he spoke because he was one of those not early in cancel culture, but that part of cancel culture. Like, it was before Daily Wire. There was some guy who was running against Maxine Waters, even though that's California, but I saw him speak. And well, anyway, that's what the Proud Boys. There's a whole bunch of Proud Boys there, you know, a couple dozen. So like it's a big square, and so the stage is like over on the one side, and then there's a bunch of the bike rack gates in the middle, and a bunch of cops, and then a huge gap, and then a bunch of other fences, and then the Black Lives Matter Antifa people, counter protesters, were over in like this little parky area.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a fucking lot of them. They had a band and shit. They were fucking loud. There's more of them than there were of like the. It was called like Freedom Fest, and it wasn't really libertarian because it wasn't, but it wasn't necessarily Republicans either. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
Independent. I don't know, but I went down just to go check it out. So I went to both sides, but they the way they had it set up, and the cops are smart about it. If you were on the independent side, or like where the Freedom Fest side, and you wanted to go, and you were beefing with the other people, you wanted to go start shit, you had to go walk all the way around to get to them. Like, it was a perfect location to make by breaking off the middle. You made a long walk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Try to deter people from starting shit.
Yeah, like if you were mad by the time you got over there, you're too fucking tired to be mad anymore. You know?
Yeah. Oh, I'm out of breath. Oh, forget it. Yeah, no, I yeah.
I went over both sides to check it out, you know. And that's where I actually saw. It was before the riots. It was before that, because this is the first time I saw this.
Before George Floyd and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was before that, because at one time I was following the crowds around to see if like the shit would break out, because because Antifa was there and a bunch of, you know how it gets during those protests.
Yeah, I know.
Right? It does get wild. It wasn't fucking fires and burning. There was burning garbage cans eventually, but it wasn't like fucking chaos in the streets. Like, the news probably didn't report on it.
Right.
But there was a point where a couple of antagonizers from the left side came over to a group that was in front of me, right? And there was more people watching the chaos than there was actually involved. And I remember this one kid yelling at a bunch of people in red hats. And I got a good look at him. He was right in front of me. And I forget, he said something by yelling at them, and I had a smart ass line to stay back to him, you know. But I didn't forget his face for some reason. And then fast forward to the George Floyd riots, and do you remember when they burned the church and Trump came out with all the security around him, like holding the Bible in his hand or some shit?
Vaguely, but yeah. Go ahead.
So the next day or the day later, I went down to that area where the church had burned. And there was a place where the protesters had gathered, and they were giving speeches and stuff. And there was like a couple of small box trucks with water and stuff for everybody. And there's all these signs and shit inside the trucks.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very organized. But so I went up and around, and I'm like standing a few steps up to one of these buildings, and the church is like over there, and they're all like down here talking. And one of the people that was involved with the speech, whatever, was the kid that I saw yelling at people on Freedom Fest. I fucking recognized his face.
Right there. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, right there. Again, Ray Epps, and I'm sure there's many more of them that we don't even know, and they just happen to coincidentally be at many of these events, you know. Sure, maybe they show up there. Maybe, maybe that's something else. I don't know.
No, I don't think he was a Ray Epps guy, because I think Ray Epps, anything.
I know. I'm just using him as an example.
Yeah, he was just probably one of the people that's at all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's an entirely possible too that, that it's just a coincidence, and these people, show up at a lot of these events, but there's quite a few of them, and I highly doubt it's coincidence. But
he was a little too friendly with people there to not have known them.
Yeah, and I'm sure some of those people are paid to be there. I can't say that.
Yeah. It was definitely the same kid. That's all I know.
Yeah, I can't say because I don't have any evidence of them being paid, but I think some of these people that show up at these events, the ones that are at every fucking event, yeah, they're on somebody's payroll somewhere.
They proved that. I'm pretty sure they proved it. That at a bunch of the Kamala Harris rallies, because how it's all like, oh, my crowd's bigger than yours, and that became a thing for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So when they were busing people in to fill the seats for Kamala's rallies, they have this shit that they can tell picking off of towers, like where your cell phone's from. Mm-hmm. And it's like there's a Kamala Harris meeting in like fucking New Jersey, and there's 400 phones from Atlanta or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Or they could.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a thing. I think that there's some people that get paid to, or that are on some kind of payroll to show up at these events, you know, to not necessarily cause chaos per se, but like in Harris's case, just to
Just a,
to bulk up the numbers a little bit to make the crowd look fuller than it actually is. You know?
if how much shit, if I had the day off of work, right? And they're like, yeah, we'll give you $200 and a bus ride and something to eat. Would you go to a Kamala rally?
I wouldn't, but you wouldn't, but some people would, for sure. You know,
What would it take for me to go?
for me to go to Harris rally, I'm gonna need a whole lot more than $200. And do I have to? Do I have to like wear a? Can I wear a Trump shirt or like a RFK shirt?
You probably
Or,
can't do that, but can I wear neutral?
again, I don't have the same morals that these people
Can I
have.
Yeah, I mean, but
And I don't really care about money. So if you're going to be giving me a lot of money to show up, that's great. I can use that to pay my bills, but I'm not willing to compromise. I'm not going to show up in a Harris Biden shirt. Like, sorry, I can't.
oh no, I feel you.
You know.
You don't have to. You don't have to do all that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. I don't know. But
No,
obviously, taking us out of the equation, that yeah, there's a lot of people that would absolutely do that. People that might not even give a shit about politics.
Well, that's
So
what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like-
So if you don't care who wins, why not take the money and just show up at the rally, eat some free food?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonder how much it would take for me to do it. I'd probably just fucking do it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
For cash. I mean, it'd have to be worth my while. Like, I probably wouldn't go to a Trump one because that's just too much fucking chaos at these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's work to go. I mean, I went to the Tucker thing because I thought it was going to be something else. You know what I mean? I thought it was going to be like his podcast where it's two people talking and having a conversation. I would just be there, not the fucking
Right.
campaign rally pump up thing that it was.
Right, but even still, like I like Tucker, so I would show up to a Tucker thing for free.
It was, I don't know.
I know
I
you.
would-
I'm not talking about that specific event. I'm talking about what you were expecting or whatever. Like, yeah, just show up for free. I wanna
when
hear
I
what
was a
Tucker has to say.
When I was a kid, I went to a couple of. Well, I met, the Bushes. I'm not counting those because those were different. But I went to like a Reagan event when I was little with my dad, and I remember having to go through like the metal detectors, like blocks. I mean, I was little, so it probably was like 2 blocks, but it seemed like 20 blocks away.
Hmm.
And then we sat in these bleachers and watched Reagan. But I don't really remember. I remember being there all day and hating it,
Well, because
So
you're a little
probably-
kid, yeah,
playing on my trucks or some shit.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
But when I met the dad,
senior.
yeah, that was just like a quick photo op. I was just my dad he was at Newark Airport, and Bush was either going from Marine One, the helicopter, to Air Force One, or vice versa. But I was basically on the tarmac, and he came by, shook some hands, took a couple pictures. I was the only kid, so he like put his arm around me. You know the picture; it's hanging in the fucking
Yeah,
hall.
seen it a million times. Yeah.
And then the one time I got to shake W's hand at a thing, but this is back when I still like thought they were cool. And I saw him a second time, and I can't remember where. But anyway, I met him twice. So my sister still wins, though. She had dinner with Reagan.
I seen the picture
Yeah,
a
she
million
wins.
times. Yeah.
But so where were we?
Yeah, so I mean, we got a bunch of stuff to get into today. I mean, obviously, we kind of opened up with some dialogue
What
there,
did
which is great.
Sorry, what did you do for New Year's? Like, just like, do you work? Is your place open? Do people go to like the movies on New Year's Eve?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Really?
I was supposed to work on New Year's, but the reason we've been on such a hiatus is because obviously you were busy for the holidays, and then I got sick, so I've been sick for about I mean, I'm fine now, but for about a week or so. So I was actually sick on New Year's. Yeah, I was all laid up on the couch doing nothing.
I pulled my back. Michelle was in Florida, pet sitting for one of her girlfriends down there.
Oh, nice. St. Pete?
Yeah, the same place she always goes.
Nice.
So I was home anyway, but I happened to fucking pull my back that morning. I was moving cases of water, I wish it was something that simple. And I'm a lefty, by the way. I was moving cases of water, and I probably should have used my legs more, but I was doing like a twist thing real quick.
Okay.
And I thought I nicked it as I was putting it down. And I'm like, nah, I'm probably okay. And I came back out and grabbed another one. And I was like, oh, and I almost dropped it.
Oh, damn, bro.
Yeah. And then so it was like my real lower back, and then like down my ass cheeks, like into my hamstrings is where it hurt.
Yikes.
It hurt so bad that I had to pick up Michelle the next day at the airport, and I have to walk the dog. And I'm like, oh fuck, dude. I'm like, if I have to go to the airport right now, I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't think I could get like into the car and drive.
Is it painful like when you sit down?
No, I'm better now. I still feel it because I tweaked it 2 days ago. But about 24 hours later, I was better. Like when I get up, it's kind of stiff. I have to like work it out. But now I can walk the dog and shit and be fine. The next day, I was able to get into the car and go pick up Michelle. But it took a couple of days before I was lifting anything.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want, when we're done recording, we can talk a little bit more about it. I might be able to give you a stretch or two that may alleviate it.
All right. All right. So what do you got for me?
There's always Mike too. I
mean, it's getting better. I think with time.
Yeah. That's all it requires. So anyway, getting into it. I got your favorite show. Clip from that. It's about a minute long. Let's listen to what Sunny Hostin has to say about American history.
I think we need to find moral clarity, in this country. And I just remember after January 6th, you had someone like Mitch McConnell placing the blame on January 6th where it belonged, squarely on Donald Trump's shoulders. Mm-hmm. And then you started seeing people backtrack that and losing their moral center. You had Condoleezza Rice, I believe, on this very show saying, we need to move on from January 6th. Mm-hmm. I say no. You don't move on because January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel.
I'm going to stop it right there. American history, the Holocaust.
Oh, that's a stretch.
That's Who's not part of American history. I mean, it is, but it's not. Yeah, I don't understand the comparison there.
Go back to that for a second.
You want me to rewind it?
No, just so you see everybody on the show. Go back a couple more seconds. Who's in the middle?
I don't know. I don't know who any of these girls' names outside of Whoopi Goldberg and Sunny.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes
only because they say the most ridiculous things. Oh yeah, you're right. Joy's not here.
Yeah, but sometimes they have guests. Is that Tulsi? Because there's a Tulsi one, and I don't think. I want to see who challenged her after this. If anybody there that was.
I don't know. Let's finish it out.
Fucking stupid.
History, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery. We need to never forget because past becomes prologue if you forget any race.
I want to ask you.
Yeah. I think
what?
Yeah. I don't know. It just makes no sense whatsoever. Again, comparing January 6th, first of all, to the Holocaust. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Right? All the terrible things that happened in America since America, and January 6th is the one I can think. What about the Trail of Tears?
I mean, you could talk about like the Tuskegee experiments and shit like that. But to bring up the fucking, to compare January 6th to the Holocaust, these people are nuts. Like, and it's so crazy, like, to me, recently, as of yesterday or whatever, people are like, oh, look how good we are. We're just calmly and collectively just turning over power, to Trump the way that it should be done. / 2 months ago, y'all motherfuckers were saying that this is Hitler. And now you're just we're just calmly turning power over to Hitler. It's okay. But, the hypocrisy. Go ahead.
Even when Trump is on his way out the door, right? And even after January 6th, he wasn't sending billions of dollars to other countries or expanding wars or trying. It really seems to me that they're going out of their way to get all this extra shit done before Trump comes in.
Yeah.
Well, you like Trump or not, Trump's probably going to fuck a bunch of shit up.
But again, these are the same people that were just 2 months ago were saying that this guy's going to come in, he's going to lock everybody up, he's going to send everybody to camps, it's going to be Nazi Germany all over again. But here we are. Look at us. We're just calmly turning everything over the way that it should be. It's so fucking ridiculous to me.
Maybe January 6th isn't their plan. He gets sentenced on Friday for the whatevers.
I saw that, yeah.
And then
I'm not even sure which case this is. I can't keep up with all of them.
And I think it's the 34 felonies, which aren't really felonies, but we don't have to get into that. But I'm pretty sure Jamie Raskin, when he talked about the 14th or whatever, mentioned a different day, as the 6th isn't the deadline to not try to fuck him over or not let him get in office or whatever. I think hypothetically, if you listen to Jamie Raskin, I want to say he said the 20th, but the 20th is the actual day. So I don't know. But again, some of the shit they're doing, how much money has Israel gotten in the last 2 weeks? Another $8 billion, and then Ukraine's getting a shitload of money, and they're overthrowing Syria, and they're bombing the fuck out of the Houthis, and they're setting precedent for how it's going to be coming up. You know what I mean? If Trump was doing that shit on his way out, I feel like people would be screaming to the high heaven.
Oh, they absolutely would be. And it's funny that you kind of brought that up, because I was talking to my family about that yesterday, some of my family, where basically I was like, look, these people are all actors, and they're not even good actors, right? You had Harris during her campaign, and even prior to that, Harris and Biden denouncing, the behavior of Israel, in Gaza. But meanwhile, they're sending Israel all of this money. What do you think that they're doing with that money? And do they think that we're that stupid that they can say one thing on camera and do something else? And it's not even it's behind our back. Again, these bills are public bills that are getting pushed forward. 30 billion to Ukraine, 30 billion to Israel, whatever,
Because they can.
Because what? Because they can. I know, but again, when you listen to some of these people and they're like, oh, but they denounce the behavior in Gaza. Yeah, but they're funding Gaza. So
you gotta remember, we're the minority. The normies are the majority. People still think that people that are smart and I respect are still it's Putin's fault. Putin shouldn't have invaded Ukraine. You know what I mean? Or
That's
Putin
true.
Putin has to give everything back. I'm how do you think this shit works?
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or even with the Israel thing, you know what I mean? Push, we should push the Palestine. There's two types of people in the world. There's ones that want to push Israel into the sea today, and there's ones that want to push Israel into the sea tomorrow. Yeah. And I'm dude, that just that Israel's the good guy argument just isn't true.
No,
it just isn't. That isn't the story that you are presenting. Isn't true, and you believe the false story. But
yeah,
I always thought Israel was a good guy for the longest time. I would, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're our greatest friend ever. Them in England, and yeah, in reality, that's not true at all. But obviously, it took me and you up until recently to come to this conclusion.
All right, play. Get your next one before we.
Yeah, let's move on. So I don't think I have much more political stuff. This is fucked up. So, sensitivity warning. This happened in New York. You probably saw it already. Watch this dude over here. You see that? I'm gonna mute it and just leave it. So fortunately, this guy survived. But yeah, this dude just fucking pushed this other guy in front of the subway train. This, I think this is probably about a week ago.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen shit like that before, but damn. They catch the guy who did the pushing?
I hope so. With all those cameras in the subway, they should have. I haven't heard any follow-up on it, so I don't know. But here, let's run it back. Again, just watch this dude standing right here. Yeah, man. That's fucked up.
These motherfuckers are like, I am getting away from this fucking crazy man.
You got to be a special kind of asshole to do some shit like that, man.
You know, speaking of Russia and the Ukraine lie.
Oh, right there.
Scott Horton. Look at this fucking thing, dude.
Oh man, look at that shit.
But
like Lord of the Rings.
He says that like here. He's like a third of the book is citations. Like almost every page, if you look at the bottom, it's just got citations upon citation.
So he's backing up his work, so to speak.
He says there's almost 7,000 of them. 7,000 citations on this man's work. And if you listen to him talk, please, I can't wait to read that thing. I just got a couple other books in the way first. I gotta finish that one, so I'm slacking.
Borderline, yeah. Is that about immigration?
Yeah, and then economics of one lesson. So I never actually read that book.
You got some work cut out for you.
Oh God, dude, that's not even it. You see else? What else I got for Christmas? I got the
Who Killed the Constitution?
That's Tom Woods, and then I got another prison book.
Blood Ties.
And I got Tom DiLorenzo about how Lincoln isn't that much of a good guy.
I heard some weird stuff about Lincoln. I'm not sure. Let me know when you're done reading it, what you come up with.
I'll send you one of Tom DiLorenzo's talks or one of his debates. Because it has a lot to do with seizing power and the amount of how much he expanded the power of the federal government. So when you look at it that way, and then I got this one.
What's that about?
World War One, how it started in the first month or so. But it's supposed to be like one of the. I've heard it from many historians to say that's one of the best ones. And then it has a second part, but I didn't even know about this, so I'll read that afterward.
The Proud Tower.
I'm not sure what that one's about.
Yeah, let me know what you find out.
I'll send you the DiLorenzo shit, man, because he wrote a couple of books, and then I've seen his speech a couple of times, or a couple of his speeches about it. Sometimes he does just Lincoln, or he does a longer one, which is Lincoln, Roosevelt, and Woodrow Wilson. It's the three worst presidents.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of terrible stuff about Woodrow Wilson recently.
Yeah, well, he's the fucking Federal Reserve there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I remember I got one of his debates, and he was debating like a Lincoln dude, and the old Lincoln guy was getting all fucking flustered and shit. He's like, "Oh, that can't be true."
Hey, man, the truth is the truth, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me know what you find out when you finish some of those.
All right. Well, I can tell you, like, the one big thing is that, like, if you listen to Lincoln's first presidential inauguration speech, right, he talks about, I have no intention of freeing the slaves whatsoever, and I'm willing to even somehow make an amendment that we can't do it.
I've heard that
the federal government can't do it. That's how much he's bending over to like avoid war or whatever. And he makes a good argument for it. It's not really like the Civil War. It's the war to prevent Southern secession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually learned that in a history class. Again, don't know if it's true, but my professor said that in college. Actually, it was at USF.
Well, I mean, there's too much other shit going on for it to be about slavery alone.
Well, there was like 150 people in the class, and I remember him just kind of going around. Why did Civil War happen? Why did the Civil War happen? And he wasn't like, waiting for the answers, or he wasn't answering the question. He would just, why did it happen? Slavery. Why did it happen? Slavery. Why did it happen? Slavery. And then, after he finished his little spiel, he's like, no, actually, that's entirely incorrect. And he said the same thing that you did, that it was actually about keeping the Union together. And obviously it was great that the slaves got freed, but if the reality is that Lincoln didn't actually want that or do that, then we shouldn't be celebrating him for it,
And even when he freed the slaves, they were only freed in Southern occupied territory. So like in areas of the South that were taken over by the time that came out, like in Texas or some shit where there was slavery, because it was then back to Union territory, they were not free.
Yeah, I've heard some.
It's just the little shit that they don't fucking teach. I mean, he won, so he gets to write the history story. You know what I mean? Like the winners write history.
Yeah,
and they make you look like fucking good guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
My boy Ryan McMakin, he's from Mises too. But he talks about the argument for succession now.
That the South should secede?
No, not the South, because what succession is, like succession is just like your ability to pull out of the agreement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to play by your fucking rules anymore. I'm going to be my own country again.
Well, Texas has been tooting their own horn to that for quite a while now,
Right, but there's
jokingly, but
I'll send it to you. You can listen to one of his speeches or whatever. But anyway, go to your next thing before we waste too much time.
So the next thing's a little bit more positive. Check these girls out. This is, I think, China. It's quick. Some serious ping pong skills there.
I want to see him in competition.
What's that?
I said I want to see him in competition.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to be competing soon. They're good.
I watch like the highlights of like badminton and shit, or table tennis, or I follow a bunch of like weird competitive sports like that come through my algorithm. Like, you ever see the dudes play ping pong with a soccer ball in their head?
Yeah, I have. There's people that play volleyball like that too.
Yeah, I've seen guys play volleyball with their feet.
Yes. Yeah, you can't use your hands. It's only head.
Like,
it's basically soccer and volleyball put together.
With like a hacky sack, and they do bicycle kicks all the time.
Yo, those people are amazing. It's really incredible that they're able to do that.
Even the dudes who play badminton, man, they're like, it's like dink, 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 dink. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you see this? Go ahead.
It's a shuttle. It's a shuttlecock.
Shuttlecock. Yeah.
All right.
Did you see this? This fucked up. It's a rapper on an interview. I'll let it speak for itself.
And choices we got in life, those were your choices. Who shot who?
Did you get that?
Shot?
Lo, you good, Lo?
I hope.
He fucking shot himself.
Right
Watch.
there.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I just was waiting for blood to come through his pants. Or
So
something.
was I. Yeah, I don't see it, but yeah.
He takes it like a champ, though. He's like, "Oops." Was it
Yeah,
like
he
22?
does. Yeah, maybe.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does. This was something you sent, so I actually haven't seen this. At least I don't think I have.
Hey, buddy.
Fucking cats.
What you doing?
I'm gonna be home soon, okay?
Oliver.
Hi, Frankie. It's Daddy. Oh my.
I sent this to you?
Yeah, you did.
So cute. I'm
Well, you sent it to the channel.
I don't remember.
I'll probably cut it here. I just love cat videos. I swear, you
So
sent
do I.
it.
It's fine.
What's that?
It's fine. I just don't remember sending it.
Hey, Buxton.
I'll have to check the. When
There's
you
got
sent
to be
it.
one that cracks me up.
Oh Jesus!
Gizzy, little baby.
Unfortunately, the volume on it is really low.
I might have just sent it to you because it's cats.
I don't know. It's on. It's on our channel.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe you meant to send it to me, and you sent it to the channel on accident. But
You are so cute.
in any case, I'm all here for cat videos.
Ali.
That's like a third of my Twitter feed every day. It's just cat videos.
Mittens, we see you.
I have a lot of dog videos too.
Yeah, dogs are cool too. But yeah, with all the crap going on in the world today, we gotta find something positive, right? So this next one I actually do want to show you. This is actually pretty old. It's from 2009. I don't know if you've seen this before.
Who knows? Show me. I'm excited.
A couple episodes ago, I was talking about like some of the we were talking about like cults and stuff, about how some of the presidents
Oh,
and
that's
stuff.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you've also mentioned before that many of the presidents and people that are in power seem to all go to the same schools. They also hold the same positions.
Yeah, that's the George Carlin bit.
Yeah, and it just kind of repeats itself. So this girl back in 2009 discovered that all of the presidents, with the exception of one, are related. I'm gonna play it.
Well, Dan, the youngster spent the summer, really all summer, tracing the family tree of our presidents. Her conclusion that all the presidents, with the exception of one, share the same grandfather.
Well, first we start off with George Washington at the top, and then it goes to John Adams, Thomas Jefferson.
11-year-old Bridget Dovigneau says she's made a first-of-its-kind discovery that President Obama and all the presidents before him, with the exception of one, are related and descendants of a former king of England.
No, they are all cousins, and they're grandsons of John Lackland.
Dovigneau says she spent countless hours on the internet over the summer researching the lineage of our presidents, a project that started with her trying to trace her own family tree.
But I'm the first historian to do all the presidents. I'm very glad I got this done, and I think it will turn out to be a success.
The Monte Vista Christian 7th grader has written President Obama.
What's that?
I feel like she's wrong somewhere.
I know, right? It's almost unbelievable, right? So I'm gonna stop it here. You can easily just Google this video. It's on YouTube. It's been around. Like I said,
Yeah, but it's
been
from 2009. I wonder if anybody fact checked her.
I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know. I just thought it was really fascinating. But yeah, it's a 12-year-old girl. Do you want to know the president that wasn't related to that John Lackland?
Who was it? Kennedy?
Martin Van Buren.
Really?
Yeah, apparently, according to her. I just thought that was fascinating.
All right.
Again, if it's true, who knows? All right, so let's continue on. We're going to move into some more of your territory here. I don't think I've seen this. That's funny. I was wondering where they were going with that. What's this?
You guys fucking suck. My parents are worth the fucking 2 million goddamn dollars. And you know what? You fucking suck. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? My grandpa is worth more than your fucking life. My fucking attorney. Shut the fuck up. No. Chill out.
That's awesome. That's what you get.
And the funny thing is that he can probably sue them.
He probably can, but fuck this dude. Like, you're being disruptive on the plane, you're attacking people, they duct tape you to the seat.
New rules. I talk now.
That's going to be very hard on the audience.
Shut the fuck up!
That's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, now you want some help.
I'm sure he did probably sue them. Probably made a ton of money off of it. But
sometimes I'll, like, when I'm at the airport or whatever, which isn't often because I hate flying. Sometimes I'm like, I wonder if I like want something to happen on the plane because it'll be funny. But the other time I'm like, it would just waste time, and I hate being there, and I just want to get wherever I'm going.
yeah, it may even delay the flight. So yeah, it's probably better that your flights are uneventful. So yeah, this is another one that you'd posted. Something about what's the headline here? Finland plans to open 300 gun ranges, promoting firearm safety and proficiency as part of national defense.
Got that big ass border with Russia.
Yeah. All right, let's check it out. I haven't seen this.
We don't have any issues with the security of your household. We don't, at the moment, you can leave your cell phone on the street and probably find it next day in the same spot. Finland is a safe place. But for some reason, they have something in the back of the head ringing that this is the skill what I have to learn now. And that's why they study. And that's why they practice. And that's why they buy the guns. I think that the wind have changed. Now it's blowing from the east.
It raises your adrenaline levels. And yeah, shooting, I've
Well,
always
show
loved
the whole
shooting
video.
since I was a little kid.
This is what
So,
it is. They're funding state-funded militia training, basically.
Oh. This is supposedly to protect themselves against foreign invaders like Russia?
Well, they share a pretty big border with Russia. It's not a very populated border. It's fucking dense-ass woods and freezing cold.
Mm.
But I know that if you go way up the Finnish border, right, but on the Russia side, Russia's got something important up there that they would want to protect, like a base or something. But it's very out of the way because it's up in, the rugged terrain.
Gotcha. This
Yeah,
I did see
awesome.
this.
But right now, when you
I
see
love
this,
this guy.
right here,
Go ahead.
no, this one is for the Giffer. Now you all see.
Bobby the Brain.
And she just leaves. Wow.
But it's a set. Like, where's she going? Those fake ass stairs?
I
You know
guess.
what I mean?
She's just going to stand behind the wall until the camera stops so she can
I'm
come
gonna
back
root
down.
this on his ass.
What a joke! That's funny. That's no.
I don't know if she's just trying to be... I don't know what her deal is.
We'll be back.
Like, is this part of the show? Is she, like, legitimately does not know anything about professional wrestling?
I don't know.
Or, like, even Rick Rude back in the day, because he was very popular and this is his gimmick. He was the quintessential ladies' man.
He's the shit. He's fucking Rick Rude.
Yeah, I mean, he was great. So is his gimmick, So yeah, I don't really understand what her deal is. She just comes off like a Karen, to be honest.
I thought she was playing at first when she went up because she knows there's nothing up there. You know what I mean? Because she had to come back in.
I wasn't sure what she was doing, but then when she ran over the couch, like with her heels, like she could have easily tripped and fell. So that leads me to believe that maybe she really was just running away from him because she doesn't seem to understand professional wrestling. Kathy, it's
I don't know. It's
fake.
not like
fake.
it's also a long time ago. Rick Rude probably is a fucking handsy guy.
Yeah, true. But again, that is kind of his gimmick,
You've heard the airplane story, right?
Oh, the flight from hell?
The Flight from Hell, yeah.
Yeah, but Rick wasn't on that.
I know, but what always makes me funny, Ric Flair is, and the fact that he would do the helicopter like all the time. That was funny.
Yeah, that was hard. I watched that episode, that Dark Side of the Ring episode. That was hard to watch. It was hard to listen to, rather, you know. So yeah, well, you know.
What's the next one?
So the next thing we got is the thing that you wanted to talk about.
Oh, all right.
Let me go ahead and bring it up.
Oh, you know, I had no. So you don't like Godfather 3?
No. Oh, I think I watched it once, and that was
Godfather 3 is a fucking decent flick, dude.
Yeah, I don't really remember it, to be honest. I remember something about a church at the end, and
he's trying to take the family legit. Spoiler alert: if you haven't seen Godfather 3, that's just fucking on you. He wants to take the family legit and buy an International Mobiliare. It's the name of this company, but it's attached somehow to the Vatican Bank. So in the beginning, there's like this party, and it's because Michael won like an award from the church, but he only got it because he gave him $1 million check.
Yeah, he bought the award, right?
Yeah, so he's buying legitimacy for the family because they want to go legit, you know, but he can't because every time he's out, they pull him back in.
Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
But that one, it's got so Al Pacino is obviously Michael Corleone, and then his older brother Sonny, who dies in the first one, had an affair, and then that is Anthony Garcia. And Jodie Foster, not Jodie, Bridget Fonda is the girl. And I forget the guy's name, Joey Montana, whatever, but he's Joey Zaza.
I always remember the
he gets killed, but he's like Zaza.
Hi, Joe.
Zaza.
The one girl too, wasn't she like Francis Ford Coppola's daughter?
The daughter, yeah,
something like that.
When he whacks Joey Zaza, the beginning of that scene, like to piss him off, one of the Corleone's goons is like leaning on a car, like at the festival of whatever they have in New York, but it's like a street party, right? And Joey Zaza is the mafia don of the area. And he's like walking around having a sausage sandwich, and there's a guy. There's a Cadillac that you can win in a raffle, and there's a guy leaning on. He's like, "Hey, Joey Zaza." He's like, "Hey, Joey, up your ass."
Hey, Joey Zaza! Joey, up your ass!
And he fucking scratches the car with a key, and then they chase him, and then that's the chaos. And then Anthony Garcia runs up on Joey Zaza.
Zaza.
And he's like, "Zaza!" He shoots him.
Yeah, I watched it once. Yeah,
it's good. It's 1 and 2 are so fucking good that 3 is just outclassed because it's still a good movie, but it's just not as good. You know,
maybe that was my issue with it. I just kept comparing it to
a lot of shit changed. Like the way it was supposed to go is Andy Garcia's character eventually would bring the family into drugs, and that would be the downfall of the family. But there's a bunch of like, so Puzo wrote Godfather, right? And he helped write Godfather 2, and then some of his notes or whatever's in Godfather 3. I forget how that worked out. But he also licensed 2 other people to write Godfather books. So there's a prequel when it's about how Sonny gets into the family. Like he's a kid, him and Tom are, you know, like not part of the mob. They're doing their own thing. And it's how Luca Brasi becomes Luca Brasi. And it's called The Family Corleone. I think I still have the book over in the bookshelf. I've read it a couple times. And then there's another book series that happens. The first book happens in between Godfather 1 and Godfather 2. Or at the end, both there's 2 books that are about Michael running the family that the Don isn't in, and they're kind of related to movies, but not really. So I think one of them, because they kill Tom, they make an excuse for, because Tom Hagen isn't in the 3rd movie, so they kill him in the books. So it's obviously after the 2nd one and before the 3rd one, and it's a 2-book series, and it's like I forget what it's called. The Godfather Returns and The Godfather's Revenge, maybe something like that. But if you're into Godfather lore, they're worth reading.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, the first 2 films are classic.
And then another one of Puzo's famous books is called The Sicilian, and they made a movie about that years ago. The star is the dude from Highlander, Christopher Lambert. Is that his name?
Sounds familiar.
In the first couple Highlander movies, not the TV show guy.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I heard they're making a movie with the 2 of them. Both McLeods, Duncan and the other.
Oh, really? I actually never really was into Highlander. You and my brother Chris were.
Highlander's fucking cool. Dude.
I know you and Chris used to love it. Chris used to watch
Yeah.
the TV show. He would watch all the movies. I don't really recall getting ever like all that into it as a kid.
It's a cool concept.
It is. I don't know why I didn't get into it. I don't know. I'm a fucking kid.
And I mean, and the universe can be forever because they're immortals.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know the premise
anyway,
and stuff, but yeah,
the Sicilian is about a dude he's like a mafia dude in Sicily, and Michael Corleone is in the book for a minute because they're supposed, when Michael comes back to New York after hiding in Sicily, he was supposed to bring that guy with him because he would have been a really good asset to the family, but his story dies over in Sicily. But it's called The Sicilian. It's a good book. And then there's one called L'Omerta. I read that. I read a lot of Puzo stuff.
What was it called? La Muerta?
Omerta.
Omerta.
Omerta. Like the code of silence that the mafia has. Omerta. But that one kind of sucked. It was about the Don is dying and his 3 kids were never involved in the business, but his nephew was, and the Don dies and the nephew helps whatever with the fucking family. And then he wrote one, The Last Don, and they made a movie about that. And there's a Last Don 2, but I don't think there was a book on that. And then I think there's one called Fool's Luck. It's a gambling, half mafia, half gambling book. It's weird. But anyway, sorry. So
no, it's fine.
All right, the Ronald Reagan Presidential Institute here every year does this kind of fucking defense survey. And I found it interesting, so we can talk about it.
Oh, these are different slides. Okay.
All right, so go to skip. Actually, go back to. Let's see what that says real quick. Yeah, so 2,500 adults from November 8th to the 14th, blah, blah, blah. So that's the survey. And they do this every year. Apparently it's recognized or well known in the field. All right, so skip ahead to, and we talk about this one, right? So
by the way, before we get there, it says national mood still negative but improving. Go ahead. It says it again here, so never mind.
Yeah. So right track, wrong track. I don't know why it's. Oh, it's Democrat, Republican. That's what it is. Okay. All right, you can skip
why
to
does
this
it list the colors differently though? Or is that for the next slide? That's weird. So the national mood. Go ahead.
Still negative but improving. But if the right direction's blue, I don't know. I'm reading this chart wrong, I guess.
Well, you see, the wrong track has gone down, right? So
Right.
it's gone down from 70 to 56%. And the right track has gone up from 25% to 37%.
Oh, so basically what it's saying is that since November of 18, it's always been the wrong track. The wrong track's always been the highest
Well, it looks like things were getting better from the 18th until February of 21, and
right,
then
but it's still, but the overall people still thought it was negative.
Yes,
Yeah.
up until recently. So yeah.
Well, yeah, it looks like people are optimistic about Trump. That's what it's telling you?
Yeah, I think that's true. For a lot of people.
All right, go to the next one.
Increase in optimism driven by Republicans after the election.
Oh, I guess that helps explain some of the wrong direction stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously this sounds completely legit. Of course, the Republican optimism is skyrocketing at this point from 10% to 47% just in the last year. And then obviously the
at 2020.
Yeah. And obviously the Democratic has gone down. But you know what is interesting here, right? Is look at this. So here you are, February of 2021, right? 69% of the Democrats, right, are optimistic. And then by November of the same year, it goes down 10%. And then a year later, it's down another 10%. And this is during the Biden-Harris administration.
Yeah, well, it's the beginning. The first one, obviously, is Trump out, Biden in. And then it's inflation.
Yeah. So I find that interesting, and that the Republican optimism is on the floor from February 2021 all the way up until Trump essentially gets elected, or it looks like it starts to grow prior to the election. But yeah, that's interesting that the Democrats have gone consistently gone down considerably, and that was the entire Biden-Harris administration.
Well, that's why Trump won, because Biden lost enough of that 10% each year.
Yeah.
Was his base, or the people that were pissed off.
Yeah. It looks like he comes somewhere around half, right? Like 70%, and it looks like it's down around 35% here just prior to the election.
Yeah, and that's probably everyone. Yeah, okay, so go to the next one now.
All right. Economic issues.
So look, there, inflation and economy, and that was extremely important. And then healthcare. His foreign policy was shitty. His immigration shitty. Abortions 50-50 throughout fucking life. And then I don't know, people care about climate change still. But the number one thing was inflation and economy, and that was Biden's weakness. Bidenomics was not very good.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, look at these four, right? Like he was awful with all of these things. Inflation, the economy, as you pointed out, healthcare is stupid expensive. Foreign policy and national defense, and then the immigration issue.
If only 21% of the population thinks that inflation and economy is only somewhat important, I wonder what they think is really important.
When was this completed? Because that's probably changed a bit now. Because the economy is consistent.
It said in the beginning. Hold on, I'll go check. In the beginning of November.
Beginning of November, the economy wasn't important.
That's the survey.
To 21% of the people.
That is how people answered the survey. 2,500 people.
All right. They must be well off. I mean, it's the explanation I can come up with. All right. The next one. Oh, this is breaking it down by voter base. So yeah, the inflation in the economy, according to Harris voters, was 62% said it was extremely important. And 87% of Trump voters said it was extremely important. Yeah, that's odd.
Look at border security and immigration.
I know. Look at that. 81% to 31%.
And then look at climate change.
Yeah. Yeah, climate change. How much money you think has been invested into climate change since they started this back with Al Gore? Billions, probably, right?
Hundreds of billions, trillions.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right, go to the next one.
What else we got here? I'm trying to. What was the difference between the two graphs? Different views of the issue landscape. Partisans have dramatically different views of the issue landscape. Not really sure what the difference is there. All right. Here's military spending. And this looks like it's...
So most of the people still are happy with Social Security, healthcare spending, infrastructure. Unlike like to see foreign aid is very low.
But I mean, what's the thing here? Like where, like, you know, the infrastructure, the healthcare, the education, all of these things are important, but none of them have been improving. And I don't mean just like over the Biden-Harris administration. None of those things have been improving, period. You know, for decades now, right? Like, weren't we number one in education at one point? You know, back in the day, 60s, 70s, whatever.
Yeah, but I get, you know, the counter argument to that is whatever list, like you certain lists that you go by, like what's the smartest country or whatever. Some countries like they'll take out, they'll fudge them. They won't count.
Numbers.
We count everyone. You know what I mean?
Got it. So maybe it's not a very trustworthy comparison.
That's the impression that I have, but there's no doubt that we are not as smart as we used to be.
What's the next one? Looks like it's the same.
Most favor increased military spending, but plenty of competition for domestic priorities. So it's still kind of the same. People still want, many favor increased military spending with plenty of competition. So Social Security, infrastructure.
49% strongly favor it. Looking at you, neocons and warhawks.
Tell me if you, here's the question. Please tell me if you favor or oppose increasing government spending in each of the following areas. So they want more government spending in Social Security. Infrastructure is 50. So that's how they look at it.
How come they don't have like the opposed to, you know? Like what if you're opposed to it?
I don't think it gives you that option. Or it does, because look, it's only 89% is the total. So it's either strongly favor, somewhat favor, or nothing, I guess.
Well, that could also just be people who are undecided. Like, I don't really know. I don't really have an opinion on it. Never thought about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're opposed to it.
So of the people who answered the question, this is what you got.
Right. Interesting. The next one, again, this kind of shows, well, the military doesn't really move all that much.
Yeah, but it started in November of 18, it was 75, and now it's 79. So people are technically more favorable for military spending. And right now, I would, like you and me would be like, I do not favor military spending at all.
Yeah, I think we spend more than enough on the military. I don't even know where this money's going.
And they're asking for increased spending.
Yeah.
So fuck that. I don't want you to like cut foreign aid just to make the army stronger. I want you to cut both.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the big thing here is border security. You know, from 62 to 75% looks like the biggest.
Yeah. Well, again, I don't think the problem with border security is spending either. I think the problem is administration and the rules and the laws put in place to comprehend the issue.
100% agree with that. Well, what's the next one? Healthcare, border security are top funding priorities. Well, I can't argue with that.
I like this one better. I wish infrastructure was ahead of military. Promoting freedom abroad should be a fucking 0.
Yeah.
That's fucking dumb. That's just another word for foreign aid, right?
Well, it sounds to me like, again, you want to like, I get it from culture. Like that's where I'm going with this is like, oh, well, you know, the like people like women in Iran should have this, should do that. You know, they should do this. But that's up to the Iranian government and the Iranian people to decide, not us. That's kind of how I see it. Like, I don't know if it.
Yeah, so in a way, that's foreign aid.
Yeah, or just foreign influence. But again, that's not our country. So let the Iranian people run their own shit. You know?
Either way, it's bad news.
Yeah. And if they want to change things, let those people stand up and make the decisions. That's their country. That has nothing to do with us.
All right, go to the next one.
Oh, just another 1/4 thinks military. It's the same essentially thing, just a different version of the graph.
Yeah, top second priority. But again, this is also a pro-military report, so it's going to be a favorable military outcome regardless.
Well, they didn't really say, and I'm sure it does go into detail where they got those 2,500 people or whatever that they polled. Where did you get these people from? You know.
We will add the link to the comments at the bottom because this report is huge. It's not just this chart. There's, like you saw before, there's multiple options.
Well, look at all these slides on the side. There's a ton of them. I mean, we're going to be here for another 3 hours going through all of these. Look at this.
I didn't even know it was that big.
There's 106 of them, and we are on slide 13.
Maybe we should have made some notes and only taken out a couple of them.
No, that's okay. We'll just link it in the description. Anybody who has interest in it can look through it themselves.
All right.
Study it if you want.
Go back up to where we were. Go to the next one.
Yeah, I'm there. So
let's just go quick.
The next one is border security and the... Oh, wait. Oh, okay. So these are kind of like... Go ahead.
So it's the Harris Trumpers and Republicans and then Trumpers. So healthcare, 62% of the Harris people were like, we want that, and then the MAGA people said this, and then the Trumpers said that. But you can see 11% on border security, and then 50, then 66. Social Security is kind of the same. Education, half. And then you see more military spending. Infrastructure is about the same, and then promoting freedom and foreign aid nobody cares about. All right, go to the next one.
Yeah, well, I got to say, me and you do agree with the Harris campaign here. Because their military priorities are low, and their infrastructure priorities are relatively high. At least by comparison. All right, most overestimate U.S. defense spending. This is your department. Estimated percentage of federal budget spent on defense.
Yeah, so 21 to 25% of the people thought that 8%, that's what it is. All right, so 0 to 5%, 5% of the people thought. 6 to 10% of military spending, 8% thought. So 11 to 15 is the actual number, and 8% of the people got it right. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
So 32% of the people who took the survey think that America spends 26 to 50% of its money on military.
You know what? I probably thought that a couple of years ago.
That would be including what we printed and borrowed. That's if we did half, that's $3 trillion on the military.
Really just makes you wonder where all our money goes. 8% of our total budget goes to the military. So where does the other 92% go? And
33% goes to Social Security, and the other 33% goes to like Medicaid and entitlement programs, shit like that. And then the rest gets chopped up. There's certain, like Social Security, there's certain, some of the other medical stuff, like a certain amount of every dollar that comes in has to be spent on this.
I remember you saying that before. Yeah,
it's not one of those things you can be like, well, we'll cut it this year and give it more next year, whatever. Like, you can't. You can give it more, but you can't give it less.
So the next one, how concerned are you that the cost of the national debt will force cuts to national defense programs?
I'm not at all concerned because it will. It has to.
Yeah. Well, it looks like 69% total are concerned. Wait,
Yeah, but they're concerned like that's a bad thing. Like I'm optimistic. I want the
Right.
funding to be cut. Spend more on national defense, spend more on national debt. I like that one.
Yeah.
All right, go to the next one. Defense versus debt spending by group.
Again, this is
So-
just a breakdown of the previous one.
Yeah, but look, the younger kids, 18 to 29, want 56% spent on military and less on debt.
Well, I don't think many of them
Oh.
understand that.
Our ballpark is 50-50.
Yeah.
And old people are fucking like are smart. They're like the debt is too bad because you're taking all our money away and making it worse.
Yeah, I actually find that interesting.
Well, they're gonna die. They don't care about war. They want to be comfortable until they're dead.
True. Well, nobody should care about war, but that's a different topic. All right.
But look at non-college graduate, 38% more on defense. College graduates 40%.
Mm.
And then look at Democrats are more on defense than Republic. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's
So,
interesting.
old-
Well, they have become the war party, so maybe it's not that crazy.
That's true.
They're
They're afraid of Russia and China. And
still
then-
trying to
and
start World War III as we speak.
Other things that go bump in the night. You know who is going to war right now? India, Afghanistan, and Pakistan.
Yikes.
They've been. They have long-running beef in that area, even though, like, that's why during the Afghan war, the Taliban was hiding in Pakistan, even though Pakistan was our friend.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they've been beefing since, and they've been there's been many occasions where they're skirmishing, and now the skirmishes have gotten bigger, and now they're basically at war over a section of territory.
Oh, yikes. Well, hopefully it ends quickly.
I don't think so. I see war kick it off.
I'm just trying to be optimistic, but yeah, realistically, it's not good.
Notable increase in concern after education on debt payments.
Yeah, how concerned are you? Yeah.
I don't care about that.
All right. Well, the next one. Again, it's talking about the national debt and the
All right, here you go. There's a new section coming up.
confidence in the military.
Look at the bottom. That's a good number. 43%. Not much confidence in the media.
Yeah.
32%. Not much confidence in the Congress.
I mean, 23% of the population still has a great deal of confidence in the news media. That's good news for them because I thought it was lower than that.
Well, it's because it's probably by age. Go to the next one. See
I'm sure a lot of that is, but it's probably all boomers.
Yeah, because they're the ones who still watch the news.
Yep, ain't nobody else watching that shit. And if you are, you should stop.
Confidence in the military shot down to 45. Now it's back to 51. That's wild.
I mean, I'm not really sure I understand what they're asking here. Like, confidence in the military to do what? Like, I'm not really sure what the... Like, is a specific question, or is it just how much confidence do you have in the military? To do what? To do their job?
The question's right there.
Yeah.
Look under.
Yeah, it says, please tell us how much trust and confidence you have in each of the following. Right?
Go to the next page.
Yeah. But again, what does this mean? So the military goes from 70% all the way down to 51%, which means that people don't have much trust and confidence
in the military as they used to.
Yeah, but I just don't understand, like, specifically, like, what does that pertain to? You know?
Well, why is recruitment down? what's happening in the military that people are losing confidence in it without getting into it. You know what I mean? Like, it's obvious.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Obviously, I'm super anti-war, but do I have confidence that the military can successfully defend us against an attack? Yeah, I do. But the two things aren't related, so I don't know.
All right, I think you're getting a little too technical, but all right.
I don't know. I think the question just confused me. Police and law enforcement
It's probably on like a 1 to 10, or you know what I mean, a 1 to 5.
Yeah, but
somewhat in the middle.
Yeah, I get that, but
okay, so in 18, everyone's like, "Yeah, I really trust our military," and then it's like, you know, our tanks are falling apart, and we're giving all our shit away, like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just very generalized for me. I think that's why I got confused.
Go to the next one.
How much trust and confidence, again, do you have in the military? And yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. This makes it look like everything is up.
Yeah, well, it is compared to from November 23. So in the last year.
Oh, okay.
And that breaks it down by people. Go to the next one that breaks it down by vote.
And this is by party.
Yeah, go to the next one.
And this is asking how willing would you personally...
Overall, 16%, and that's up 6 in the last year.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they're buying into that Russian propaganda or something. I'm not sure.
Well, do you want to? Maybe people are tired of going to war in Afghanistan and Iraq. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of what we're losing is a lot of like legacy military. You know, my dad served, my uncle served, my grandfather served, my brother served. You know what I mean? Like a lot of that.
Yeah.
All right, go to the next one. We're new category.
Defense and foreign policy.
Seen as the top threats, top theaters of focus. So, number 1 is East Asia.
Yeah, then the Middle East, then Europe, and then South Asia.
Well, I guess that's, what do you consider South Asia? India? India, Pakistan?
The Philippines?
No, because that's Southeast Asia. That's I would consider that all that.
It's got to be India then, yeah. Madagascar? Or no, wait, that's off the coast of Africa. I don't know.
It's got to be, it's got to be India.
Yeah, it has
India,
to be.
Pakistan.
I don't know. I'm not on this list at all. I think the U.S. military force should be right here focusing on protecting our borders and securing our homeland.
All right, the next one is, this is a bad one, increase in foreign aid. More engaged and take the lead. Hell no.
Now, these people must have a lot of money if they want to give it overseas, because I don't have any money to.
No, because this is, but I mean, they don't think like that. You know what I mean? People don't think that. They think we can just afford everything.
Yeah.
You know?
I can barely afford groceries.
But the question they ask you is not like...
No, it's here. When it comes to international events...
Yeah, you have to answer the question. You can't like give, well, my real answer is this. You know what I mean? It's not like, I give foreign aid, but we should save our money. You don't get to answer it like that.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, go to the next one. This is just who prefers foreign policy by subgroup. So overall, in the last year, it's up. Oh, under age of 30 is way up.
Yeah, no, that's wacky.
People. Our ballpark is up 19 and 12. Oh, happy birthday tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Actually, forgot about it.
And independence is up. I feel like that shouldn't be correct. But all right, go to the next one. Modest decline in preference for maintaining bases. No, we have way too many bases. Way too many bases.
Yeah.
Go to the next one.
Here I am, right here in the 12%. Just defend our borders.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Win 2 separate wars with no, that's ridiculous.
These people, what the fuck, man?
And
hope that 41% hope y'all are fucking enlisting. Go over there.
And the other problem is when you look at it like this, like China and Russia are two completely different enemies with completely different geography. You know what I mean? Like,
are they even enemies? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, they don't like each other.
No, well, no, I mean, like, do they are they our enemies? And if so, do they need to be?
Whatever. Hypothetically, like, if you were going to do this, right? You can't prepare one army to fight these two. It'd be like fighting in Europe and fighting in Japan. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be two different armies, two different theaters.
Yeah.
Two different sets of tactics, two different sets of vehicles.
Well, that happened, Jeffrey.
When you fight China, you use the Navy and you block them in. When you go fight Russia, they're a giant landmass. Like, you would have to go into Russia. And nobody can get to us because they have to cross the fucking ocean. And we can shoot anything down. And even if they wanted to, no one's got the boats to move the supply chain across the Atlantic, across the Pacific. You know what I mean? It took us 6 months, a year or so to even get enough forces into Iraq or in Afghanistan to even do shit.
And let's be honest here. If you decide to fight two enemies at the same time, these 41% of these people, our military should be that large so that we can take them both on. There's a good chance that China and Russia at that point team up. And
that's what happens. Like, you get into a race because if they're too powerful, they can tell you what to do. You know what I mean? So you need to. It's power checking, which is what happened in World War One. All right, go to the next one. This is large enough to win 2 wars. So old people definitely said that. Republicans said it. So the younger kids are smarter in this one. Next one is what is this? 3/4 fight to a draw. Why would you just fight to a draw? That's so dumb.
No, they're saying that the military should be big enough for us to be able to fight to a draw.
Yeah, no, I'm not cool with that. Defend our borders only. And
I'd just rather not fight them.
An army to defend our borders would be minimal. Like, we wouldn't need to keep 1 million tanks in service. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if a country started to step to us, Americans would want to do something. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
you wouldn't just be dealing with our military. You'd be dealing with like militias and all of these other things too. People would voluntarily step up.
No, I'm not saying like we got invaded today, but like if another country was influencing us like the way we influence everybody else, the people would be supportive of going to war.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? If Mexico bombed fucking Texas, like after 9/11, people fucking got jazzed up and joined the army. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After Pearl Harbor, we all wanted to go to war.
Yeah.
So
yeah, those events seem to be able to rile people up.
Right. So there's a legit threat to the United States. Will support building more tanks and and people will volunteer for the army.
Well, many of us will, for sure.
Yeah, but it's if you're not volunteering to go fight in Iraq, you're actually volunteering to defend your home.
And then they send you over to Iraq.
Okay, Paul, you're missing the whole fucking point of what I'm saying.
I don't think I understand what you're saying. I got the gist of it. You said when an event happens like Pearl Harbor or 9/11, people will actively go and enlist. And yes, I think you're correct. That's true.
But you don't. But then we can also. Then you jack up production to build more tanks and to build more. You don't build them and then just in case, then we go and use them. We don't.
Well, yeah, that would be kind of silly because that tech might even be obsolete by the time.
Right. We don't need to have a huge military-industrial complex complex taking up $1 trillion a year to keep building up and supporting a giant army that we don't need because we're projecting power everywhere else.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, what's the next one?
It's the same question essentially.
No, this is just China.
Yeah, it's just China, but same question.
And the next one is Pete Iran.
I find this all crazy. I mean, wow. Is that really how our country feels? All of these people, we need a big enough military to win a war against China? Okay.
I think a lot of these are like specified, like how. Oh man, I guess.
Wow. All right. Well, at least it's a different question this time.
Most think the U.S. military could beat Iran. Only half think it could defeat China. Look, when you think defeat, there's no way we're not going to conquer fucking China.
I don't know what they mean by defeat. What does that mean? That China comes to the negotiating table with their tail between their legs? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, like they surrender, and we with like we have the positive terms. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they give up and then surrender.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next one? And it's just subgroup.
Do you think the U.S. would win a war against China? Yeah.
All right, skip a couple to defense production.
To defense production. Oh, got it.
Yeah. All right. A lot more, 40%. Suck my butt.
Well, these are the same people too that pretty much just said that like we need enough military to be able to go to war with China and Russia at the same time. So, like, who are these people? Where'd you get these 2,500 people from?
You know,
fucking psychos.
I remember reading a poll that people took serious and seeing the sample size of like 2,000, and I thought the same thing. I'm like, how can you only ask 2,000 fucking people and get like, who did you ask? Like, did you ask these questions on Fox News? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Where did you ask some of these questions? And
we had a neocon conference when you were asking all these questions.
And then, but apparently, the overwhelming majority of surveys only ask this many people, and they say that is enough to test the waters. Really,
that's true. I remember learning about that in my stats class. But typically, you pull people from different parts of life, right? So if you're polling, like, say, 2,000 people, you'll take 100, and you want like legit results, right? Like you could pull 2,000 people from Texas, right? And then you can pull 2,000 people from Texas in rural areas, and you're going to get, a whole large of the similar demographic. Right?
I feel you.
So the idea is, if you want your study to be more reliable and more accurate, you take 100 people from Texas, 50 of them from the city, 50 of them from the countryside. You take 100 people from Louisiana and New Jersey, same shit.
All right, go to the next one. Let's speed this up a little bit.
How do you think the U.S. is doing when it comes to developing and producing each of the following? Is the U.S.
AI,
Go ahead.
Satellites and rockets. Satellites, I think, were cool. Rockets, I think, were good. I mean, I know that the Chinese have really good missile technology.
Yeah, well, most people think that we're one of the best, more than at least half. So.
All right, go to the next one.
Allies and enemies.
All right.
Which country do you see as the greatest threat to the United States? It's China.
It's been China for a minute now.
They didn't put the deep state on this list.
Go to the next one. Look at this one. This one's good. Look at the Russia.
That's it right there. Propaganda Central. Fucking Putin, man. It's just Putin just wants to take over and kill everybody. Make the entire world Russia.
Go to the next one.
Do you see each of these countries as a strong ally? Something of an ally, something of an enemy, or a strong enemy?
I guess that makes sense.
6%.
I would guess that's how people. I mean, this makes sense in my head how other people would look at it.
6% of the people think the United Kingdom is our enemy. Deep state aside. Okay. 7%.
I mean,
7%. Look at Australia. 7% of Australia.
I get it. Like, if they send those kangaroos over here, we're fucked.
Oh my God, these people are nuts. Oh goodness. I just want to talk. I want to chat with the 6 and 7%ers up here. I just want to talk to them.
Tell me about Australia.
Fuck Australia. They're trying to take our guns. Wait, what? Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I think it's kind of like as you'd expect, right? Like all of the usual suspects that, they always prop up as our enemies are here,
72% for Israel.
Yeah, that's it's a bit alarming, but
well, I guess it's kind of where I'd expect it to be.
Yeah, I guess given like the normies and the mainstream, sure, I expect that.
Well, that's how you got to look at this, Paul.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Go to the next thing.
Fucking Australia. Sorry, go ahead. Do you see each of the? Oh, it's the same question.
Yeah, go to the
just
next
using
one.
a line graph.
Taiwan, Russia, Ukraine.
Oh man.
75% of people think Ukraine's an ally.
The Ukrainian people, sure. The government.
Go to the next one. Go to the next one.
I see what this is. This is specifics.
Yeah.
So it was Taiwan, Russia, Ukraine.
That's Ukraine.
Yeah.
And next one's Israel. Go to that.
Israel.
So non-college people recognize that Israel's an enemy more than the college graduates.
That's what goes to show you don't go to college.
More Harris
Get dumber.
voters. More Harris voters think that Israel's an enemy.
Yeah.
And then look, the big shocker is people under 30.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we always making fun of the young people, and we shouldn't.
And look at people, I guess non-white people. A quarter of them. Well, they're smart there.
Yeah. So we can essentially just come to the conclusion that it's older white people that are really the idiots here.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Way to go, older white folks. I guess that technically includes us.
No, we're not. We're not considered old yet.
Oh yeah. Well, we fall in this demographic, I suppose. So yeah, 22% of us not fooled by the.
The next one's Iran. We can skip that. Cooperation between our enemies. Well, that just makes sense because they would obviously team up against us because we fuck with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't say I blame them, to be honest. If we stop fucking with them, right. I don't think we'll have this concern.
All right, go to the next one. Additional information about adversaries. Concerned. That's great. You're concerned. China's. Then the whole next one is China.
Oh yeah, I see that. Which of the following most concerns you about China? Looks like the military buildup.
Yeah, the rest of the thing's just going to break it down by region. And it's going to be the same bunch of questions.
All right.
So let's just leave. We'll add the link to the bottom. And like I said, there's way more than just this downloaded copy of the thing. There's a bunch of stuff you can look at.
Yeah, there's a lot on that website because we were looking earlier before we started the show. Yeah, there's a lot.
But again, we were just showing the information relative to a poll that was taken. But the other stuff, their assessment that they do every year is they do their own, obviously. which I think is the first thing we opened up by mistake.
Right, the first
Yeah.
survey part. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I want to
there's
email them. Where do you find these people? Who the fuck thinks Australia's?
I don't know, it's probably people who or maybe like on their mailing list
Maybe.
who follow the Reagan Foundation.
Fucking Mel Gibson, man. Got to look out for that guy.
You would think that that people following the Reagan Foundation would be more old school conservatives.
True.
You know what I mean?
True, but still,
I
Australia.
don't know. I mean, I follow a bunch of people. Like I follow enough leftists or people who aren't on the same mindset of me, so I can know what's going on.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But the majority of people don't do that.
I'm gonna start going around and take my own little poll.
You won't sign up for an email list for fucking Rachel Maddow. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
Well, unless I was like running a YouTube channel where I make fun of Rachel Maddow all day, then hell yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, there's people that I'd follow like on Twitter, but I wouldn't follow their fucking email subscription.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I follow Sean Ryan enough because I want the one that's Sarah
Yeah,
Adams.
yeah. No, I get what you're saying. It makes sense.
I want her book too, but I'll worry about that later.
Yeah, like I dabble on Yahoo and stuff, not because I believe any of the shit that I'm seeing on there, but I want to hear what they're saying,
True.
So I already know this to be true, or I believe this to be true. Let me see what Yahoo says about it. Do they agree or, whatever. So
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of using a different server too, using Brave when I'm not finding what I'm looking for.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you changed your browser. Yeah.
I'm trying to I still use Google as my go-to because I'm already signed into it and everything all the time.
Because it's convenient.
But
yeah.
if I'm having trouble finding what I want, I'll go to Brave, and I'll usually get what I'm looking for without having to be less exact.
Yeah. Yeah, because Google will hide shit from you. So yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah, you almost to find an article that I found. Like if I saw a screenshot of an article, sometimes you have to put in word for word the title of the article, all of it, for it to pop up. And even then you don't get it all. You can copy and paste sometimes and not even get it.
Yeah. And sometimes, like you said, you can just jump on Brave or DuckDuckGo and just do a regular Google search or a regular search, and boom, it pops right up.
Yeah. So. All right, man. We can wrap it up here.
All right. Well, thank everybody for watching. If you made it this far.
If you're still here, like and share the video. Which I should say in the beginning.
One of these days we'll get it right.
All right, man. Have a good evening.
Peace.
Some motherfuckers still trying to ice skate up here.